welcome everyone to the Focus TV Season 8, Episode 6. We got Cardell Dudley Jr. here with us tonight. We have our newest intern, Malique. I'd like to welcome him to the program. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. Once again, welcome to this week's edition of the Focus TV. We'll get started as always. I'm going to try to step in Octavia's shoes and Ray's shoes, knock on the NFC East and the Washington Wizards segments. And then we'll get started, obviously, with college basketball. We'll have Malique and Cardell and myself just sharing some things that are happening within the sport. And then obviously, you guys know how we end shows. Take it or leave it, rapid fire. There's more than enough fun topics. So we will start with the NFC East. And again, I'm not Octavia. I'm just going to try to do my best. We'll start with the Washington Commanders, though. They held on to beat the New Orleans Saints in the Superdome for a 2019 win. Washington got 2 TD passes from Jaden Daniels, both of which went to Terry McLaurin in the first half. And then they had to hold off the Saints rally from rookie quarterback Spencer Rattler. Rattler came in for Jake Haener, almost completed the comeback. He threw a 1-yard touchdown pass to Foster Moreau as time expired in regulation. There was definitely some questionable timekeeping during that stretch. If you're a Saints fan, you're very happy that the game was in the Superdome because I don't understand how the time didn't move for about 6 seconds so they can get that last play or two in. But it worked out. Washington was able to get the stops. Jawan Johnson couldn't get free in the end zone. That helped Washington gain even more separation in the division as they are now 9-5. Jaden Daniels went 25 for 31 for 226 yards and those 2 touchdowns that I mentioned. However, he was sacked 8 times. That is definitely not a great sign for the youngster. He's been doing really good this year, but I don't care what your experience level is. It's a rough outing if you take 8 sacks. Washington will host their divisional foe, the Philadelphia Eagles, next week. This is what we would call chalk if we were talking about the NCAA tournament. We knew last week that the Giants would be hosting the Ravens. It went as well as you thought it would be as Baltimore beat New York 35-14. Giants quarterback Tim Boyle went 12 of 24 for 123 yards and 1 touchdown. He also had 1 interception. Malik Neighbors had 10 catches for 82 yards and a touchdown. Lamar Jackson and Cardell, I shake my head every time I mention his name, man. I can see you shaking my head anytime I see Lamar Jackson tweet. 21 for 25 in this one. 290 yards passing, 5 touchdowns. Ravens fans, they love to call that a good old Jackson 5 when he's on like that. Baltimore moves to 9-5 on the year, while the Giants continue to plummet towards a top pick. They're 2-12. The Giants will face the Falcons on the road this upcoming week. On to Dallas we go. Cooper Rush had a career outing, 3 touchdowns for the journeyman. The Cowboys defense throttled the Panthers by forcing 4 turnovers in the 30-14 win. Rush went 18 of 29 for 214 yards to go along with those 3 touchdowns. This time, Dallas continued to give the ball to Rico Dowdle instead of stalling him out. He rewarded them with 25 carries for 150 yards. CeeDee Lamb also produced in this one. He had 9 catches for $116 and a score. The Cowboys defense, though, they forced 2 interceptions, one by Israel Mukamu, and then the other by veteran linebacker Eric Kendricks. The other 2 turnovers came by way of fumbles. Bryce Young, who's come off some solid performances since he's been reinserted into the lineup for Carolina, had a rough one. We just finished talking about the Cowboys' success on the defensive side of the ball. The young Carolina quarterback went 19 of 28 for 219 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions, while Chuba Hubbard was held to just 3.2 yards a carry. The Cowboys moved to 6-8 with the victory. Dallas will host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this week on Sunday Night Football. For those of you who don't pay attention to Tampa Bay, Baker's been pretty dang solid since he's been over there. If you're Dallas, you cannot look past them, and you don't have a right to look past them. You are under 500. Last but not least, in the words of Octavia, the Philadelphia Eagles won their franchise best 10th consecutive game with a 27-13 win over the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Eagles offense saw a rejuvenated passing attack. Just last week, we're on here talking about A.J. Brown's comments after last game because, we're talking about what needed to improve. He said the passing game. Well, everything was fun. They're doing kid and play dances. in the middle of the field after touchdown passes. So for 1 week, Philadelphia Eagles and their fans were happy. We'll see how things go next week. But for this week, Jalen Hurts went 25-32 for 290 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He threw TD passes to both A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. The wideouts went 8 for 110 and 11 for 109 catches and yards, respectively. While they didn't have great success on the ground, they stuck with the run enough to the tune of 42 carries, which is things you have to do against the Steelers, because if you drop back against T.J. Watt and them, bad things tend to happen. T.J. Watt ended up leaving this game early due to an injury, but again, the Eagles got things done. As for Pittsburgh, Russell Wilson had an efficient day, but the Eagles' defense continues to get better. Got to give credit where it's due. They've been looking for a while to kind of fix that linebacker position because it's been bad for years. The 2 young bucks they got in there right now are seizing the opportunity. Shout out to the OG defense coordinator they have, Vic Fangio. Sometimes, Cardell, what's that thing you love to say all the time? You get answers from those folks. Well, this one still has a job, and he has the Eagles defense looking like they could actually make a run and maybe get things done. It's complementary football true complementary football for the first time in Philly for quite a while. But for us, just 5.8 yards per attempt, no running game from Pittsburgh. They averaged 3.3 yards a carry to the Eagles 3.1, but they weren't able to generate the chunk plays that Philly was able to generate through the air. The Eagles moved to 12-2 on the year. Up next, they're going to visit the Washington Commanders, which that'll be a big game. We know what that division looks like. That's essentially the 2 top teams in their division going to war, and that's going to be at home. So that's going to be here at, I'm going to mess it up, say Northwest Stadium. That is now the official new name. I still call, what's it called? I'm old enough to remember being MCI before Verizon and Capital One and all this other stuff. So eventually I'll learn the new names. But on to the Washington Wizards. And just a reminder for Wizards Outlook. Obviously we talk each and every week on the show. For those of you that would like to catch a little bit more, we go a little bit more in depth after each and every Wizards game. Wizards Outlook, get over to our Roku channel to check that out. All right, Cardell, we're going to talk about this one more time. I'm going to try to get through it as quick as I possibly can because it was a struggle to talk about last week. Well, a couple of days ago, rather. The Washington Wizards are in the midst of a 3-game losing streak. The latest 2 losses coming at the hands of the Cavaliers and the Celtics. Bilal Coulibaly had a big game against the Cavs with 27 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. Alex Sarr had an efficient night as well with 14 points and 7 boards. But you can't turn the ball over 17 times against good teams. And, we say this every episode of Wizards Outlook. Shot selection, which is a very it's close to being an evergreen topic for every Wizards Outlook. Like, you just pencil it in. They've made it to the point where we're going to talk about it or address it each and every game until they fix it. Cleveland's backcourt accounted for 44 points on a night where they were without Evan Mobley. Jarrett Allen once again had a double-double for the Cavs with 21 points and 11 rebounds. Darius Garland and Karis LeVert were big in this game. They did a great job of just getting to the line. Both present defenses with different challenges in the way they go about their business, but the end result is that they're able to get downhill and apply an insane amount of pressure on opposing defenses, and Washington struggled with it. That's why they got to the line so much. Against Boston, which you guys can see here, the Wizards got caught up trying to outshoot the Celtics from deep. Boston went 18 for 46 from range, while the Wizards went 13 for 40. The difference being that the Celtics got to the line 24 times to Washington's 8. Jordan Poole led the way with 21 points in this game, but it came on 19 shots. Again, going back to that whole shot selection thing, there's a cause and effect here. Justin Champagnie and Bub Carrington recorded double-doubles for Washington with 13 points and 14 rebounds for Justin and 11 points and 10 rebounds for Bub. Again, shot selection took this game from a single-digit contest midway through the third quarter back up to double digits. It was like a 4-possession stretch of just bad decision-making. You can get over to Wizard Outlet. Cardell broke down that stretch in depth. But look, man, the same things we talk about after each and every game. Until they change it, again, these things are going to continue to be evergreen. That said, Charlotte comes in on Thursday. They come into Washington on Thursday. The Hornets are 7-19. They're coming off back-to-back losses, but they present their own challenges to a team that struggles with defense as well. So we'll see how that goes. Don't forget to get over to FocusTV.com. Follow us on social media, all of our outlets, so you can make sure you don't miss Wizards Outlook. We're going to slide into the college segment. Malique, we will start with you.
Nice to be here. Pleasure to have me. Pleasure to be here. So the first player I want to talk about is Derek Queen from the University of Maryland basketball, 6'8" freshman. Against Purdue, he knocked down He knocked down three threes. They lost the game, but he had 26 and 12. This player has received Player of the Week once. 5-star guy. We were able to get him here to Maryland. That's amazing. 5-star guy, 5-star prospect, and he's going to do big things. A second rookie I want to talk about is from Howard University, Blake Harper. He's a 6'5" freshman from Washington, D.C., and he's received MEAC Rookie of the Week 5 times. So these are two players right here that are probably going to win Rookie of the Year, All-American for the freshman group. A school that I wanted to mention was the University of Maryland girls basketball team. Right now, they're sitting undefeated. The last game they were able to win was a score of 71-58 against Northwestern. And the game before that, they were down 16 points, rallied back, and were able to win. So all these respected programs inside of this D.C. small Maryland area are really finding talent to get it done.
All right, Cardell, pass it on to you.
Yeah, big matchup locally. George Mason 7-3 hits the road. We're on the road to take on Duke, who's ranked 5th in the country, 8-2. The first half was a slugfest defensively. Let's just say they if you're an offensive person, if you like offensive efficiency, scoring, high flying dunks, there was none of that. If that's what you like, it set the game back about 70 years. It was just a defensive battle. No one could really get a rhythm. Turnovers, defensive lapses, missed layups, missed shots, especially for on George Mason's side. But for the most part, they held served going into the half, only down 7, down 25-18 to Duke. But currently, Duke started the second half on 11-2 run to extend that lead to 36-18. George Mason is still cold, man. It's 7-37 from the field right now, 1 of 11 from deep, 3 of 3 from the line. But the most glaring thing is they're being out-rebounded 33-22. Turnovers, they only turned the ball over 6 times so far. So they've been taking care of the ball for the most part. But every time they turn the ball over, Duke goes out they off to the races, and they've scored 7 points off of those turnovers. Look, it's just tough going, man. Duke is huge. I don't think people understand how big Duke really is. Everybody look at Cooper Flagg. He's 6'9", but he got 6'11", 7-foot wingspan. But Kamachi Mauch, he's down there in the paint. You have the Syracuse transfer Malique Brown. You have Mason Gillis, who's I believe he's a transfer from Purdue. He's about 6'10", 6'9". They have a big front court, extremely big front court. And then they have snipers all around you. You see what I'm saying? That they go about 6'4" to 6'7". And they're deep. They go about, depending on the matchup, 8 or 9 deep. You see what I'm saying? So they have 4 to 5-star freshmen that don't even get in the game, which is typical when you think about Duke. I was kind of waiting to see if George Mason experience would kind of, in a sense, be their edge to keep the game competitive as far as, with Duke relying on so many freshmen. But that hasn't been the case so far. It's 15:46 left in the game. Maybe Mason gets warmed up. It's really about them just making shots because their defense has held serve. We know Duke can put points on the board with the talent that they have, man, and the shooting that they have. But they have to figure out ways to score the ball, man. And their length is bothering them. Even when they get past the first Duke defender, someone's coming and stripping the ball and knocking it off of them out of bounds, or when they get the ball up above the rim, that's when you really see the length and size of Duke and the athleticism. They going up to the top of the square, sending that joint right back. You see what I'm saying? So it's just a tough going right now. A lot of mental lapses and mental errors that they have to clean up. They're hoping to win the game. It's one thing to beat Duke. That's already hard enough. It's a totally different beast to beat them in that building. So we all know historically, you gotta play damn near a perfect game to beat them. You know what I mean? But if George Mason can get going offensively with the way their defense has been holding serve, it's only so long your defense can hold serve if you can't score the ball. Eventually, your defense you're gonna get tired, and you're gonna start having defensive lapses. And if you're not able to score, it's just human nature. Your team is pretty much going to implode from within sooner or later. You know what I mean? If they're able to score the ball and the defense can continue to hold serve as it has, they can get back in this game and have a chance. But if they're going to continue to shoot the way they're shooting right now, the game's pretty much over already. So, it's plenty of time. They only, they're down 16. They can get on a run, go like on 8-0 run, be right back in the game. So we'll see how it responds. But how the Patriots respond. But all in all, what people kind of, I guess, in a way expected, maybe not the exact way they expected it to get done, but I'm sure most expected Duke to be up at this point in the game, and that's what it is.
Yeah, that's one of those places where it feels like no matter what changes, like in terms of who's on the sideline, like the building, the actual building plays a role in it. Like it's a tough place.
I say to add on to that, a few of the guys that was at George Mason hit the portal. A lot of their points, a few of their usage. Ronald Polite, know they had a guard from UNLV that was there. He was there last year too. So I might say the schedule this game this year was definitely a big game to have.
Yeah, some of them were shipped up, but I'm not gonna get into that, man.
Yeah,
they a few of them wasn't welcome back, but regardless, they got some nice pieces in the portal, whatnot, but Duke a different beast. It's the reason why they had multiple lottery picks. So, it is what it is. They got to fight.
All right, as we discussed last week, it's that time, finals and whatnot for folks. Maryland, a little bit of time off. Talk about Maryland women's, a little bit of time off from a game perspective. Obviously, still staying sharp out there last in action against Purdue, which we touched on last week. This week, they're back in action. They'll host William and Mary for a camp day game this Thursday. If y'all plan to attend, I'm going to pray for you guys from a sound perspective. It's going to be nuts in there. But as we approach the new year, conference play begins, which is what a lot of us are looking forward to. Not begins, I'm sorry, it really gets going. They've already played a conference game, and that was the win over Purdue. They'll host Michigan State on December 29th, and that's followed by Rutgers on January 2nd. We're going to really get the ripping and running through this Big Ten conference play. We're definitely looking forward to it. Cardell, I guess we'll get started with us. Take it or leave it. Where you want to begin?
I'm take it or leave it aside. First question, some some congratulations is in order for a legend. You could say local legend for his not just his high school exploits, but his college exploits as well. Michael Vick, former Atlanta Falcons and Philadelphia Eagles quarterback, is the latest star player to make the jump straight into the college head coaching ranks. He's been hired to take over Norfolk State. Vick's involvement in the search was reported on Monday. He's also involved in the search at his second FCS program, Sacramento State, according to ESPN. Norfolk State finished his 2024 season at 4-8 with a 2-3 conference record in the MEAC. Coach Dawson Odoms was fired after 4 seasons with a 15-30 record. The Spartans hand over their program to Vick, who has never had an official coaching role at any level. He previously served as an intern early in Andy Reid's tenure with the Kansas City Chiefs, but has primarily worked in media at Fox Sports since his retirement from the NFL. While coaching is new to Vick, he is a football icon in his native Virginia, obviously, growing up just outside Norfolk and Newport News before becoming the national star of Virginia Tech after a redshirt freshman. He led the Hokies to an appearance in the 2000 BCS national title game. He finished third in the Heisman voting that season. Take it or leave it, Mike Vick beginning his college coaching career. We're going to start with Wilson.
We'll see how it goes. I'm happy for him. I'm happy, just for the opportunity he gets, and obviously for what it could potentially do for that program. We obviously it's one of those things, but we don't know for sure. But if you just from an optimistic standpoint, think about what it could do. We've seen to a degree what it's done across college football when former players get different jobs. I know the first thing people are going to bring up is Deion. I'm not going to bring that up immediately. But just when former players end up at different schools. Sometimes you see the shift, even in terms of just simply is it opens more lanes from a recruiting standpoint. Say, quarterbacks, especially from where he's from, coming out of that area, it's a talented area. Some of those folks maybe stay home. That maybe Norfolk State gets an opportunity to keep hands on kids they wouldn't ordinarily have an opportunity to talk to because he's there. Then obviously the other part is him and his staff have to take care of business. But I'm interested to see the opportunity and obviously for schools I do agree at times you have to think outside the box if you don't have something that's regularly working. But yeah, I'm optimistic and I hope that it does work out.
Malique.
So I think so. Like he said, I think it can go two ways. It can either go as good as Deion Sanders, or it could be a situation like Ed Reed at his HBCU at Bethune-Cookman. So if you know anything about that it got blown up. It wasn't as much support from the HBCUs and more so as it is from the PWIs and schools of that such. So the old coach, he got 4-year contract for the old head coach at Norfolk. 4 year, 5 years. If they can give Ed Reed, because they only gave Ed Reed about, I think he was only there for like a year or two. If Michael Vick can definitely get a support system and he can get the people around him to be successful, if he can get a 4-year to 5-year deal, if they expect him to switch the program over in the long term instead of the short term, 1 year, 2 year, I definitely like the move for him.
No doubt, man. Yeah, I like it. You can tell on TV he's been kind of itching towards getting into coaching somehow in some format. Wasn't sure it was gonna be college or if he's gonna go the high school route. Look, people talking about the success of Deion at Jackson State, but look what Eddie George has done this season. It's alarming that people aren't talking about that as much. But that goes back to a whole nother conversation. Whereas when Deion left, how much of a void is he? He knows his star power, but everybody don't have that star power. You see what I'm saying? It's levels with that. And when he left, that went with him. And the same battles are still at HBCUs. It's just that Eddie George has found a way to overcome it, and it's impressive. You know what I'm saying? The way what he's doing now. Maybe Michael Vick. You gotta give it time. That's my thing with new hires. We in a microwave society where, oh, it's Michael Vick, man. He's a star. He should be winning MEAC championships next year. And it takes time. It takes time. And also, yeah, he's Mike Vick. He's a superstar and all that. But at the end of the day, with the way a lot of youth are today, they know his name, they know his exploits, but a lot of them don't really know the history as thoroughly as, say, when we were coming up, we knew certain players' history and stuff, and the respect came with that. You see what I'm saying? So for the players and their families, they might be looking at, we know Michael Vick was a great player, but is he a good coach? So it might be a little wait and see type of thing with what he does in his first year, like how he treats who's his staff. How many years does he get hired for? That matters as well. If it's like a 2-year deal, now I'm not sending my kid there because there's no telling if you're going to be there or not. You see what I'm saying? The big elephant in the room. What about NIL? The money. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure off the strength of his name, especially in Southern Virginia, where it's him and Allen Iverson at the top. You know what I mean? Let's call it what it is, him and Allen Iverson. But him, as far as football, he's the guy. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm pretty sure the top players in that region are going to come and talk to him out of respect for him. But we all know what ultimately is going to get them in there is the dollars, is the money, is the collective. How much money is in the NIL collective? All right, fine. They don't have a lot of money there, which, no disrespect, I'm pretty sure that with Norfolk State HBCU, they don't have that much money, especially to compete with the PWIs. All right, cool, Michael Vick, your network, people you know, how many sponsors and companies that you're connected with, how much are they willing to invest to lure these players in? And if they're willing to invest, then he's going to be able to get talent off the strength. And then it's just a matter if he can coach X's and O's and stuff like that. If he could do that, then yeah, it should be fun. It should be, it should be a draw, because me, I pretty much our area anyway. So yeah, when he come up to town, it's going to be It's gonna be pretty fun to watch them play. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see. And one thing I'm also encouraged about is we all know he has a dynamic style as a player. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna try to implement that as a coach. And then it's interesting to see who his staff gonna be. You know, that's gonna matter as well. You see what Dion did when I got Hall of Famers, all guys that been long-time coaches at the NFL level, and that's big. That's huge for developing players, man. All that matters. Like I just read off the record, they're 4 games below 500 right now. At this past season, they got a lot of work to do. So yeah, you got and ironically, I'm glad they hiring him now so he can get to it, and not like a couple months later where it's like, damn, no, spring football about to start. I'm behind the 8-ball. There's no chance. You see what I'm saying? So he got to hit the ground running, but I'm happy he getting a chance, man. So we're gonna see how he does. Next question, we're gonna keep it moving. Take it or leave it. Las Vegas Aces star A'ja Wilson has signed a 6-year contract extension with Nike. The extension marks one of the richest all-time shoe deals for a women's basketball player. Wilson, 28, is coming off a dominant 7th season in the WNBA, in which she won her 3rd career MVP by unanimous decision, becoming the 4th player in league history to achieve that feat. Wilson was named one of Nike's signature athletes this past May and has an upcoming signature shoe set to be released next spring. She first signed with Nike as a rookie in 2018. She's also a two-time WNBA champion and helped the U.S. Women's Olympic team take home gold this past summer. She averaged 26.9 points, a career high, and 11.9 rebounds for the Aces last season. Take it or leave it. And take it or leave it with her having one of the most lucrative Nike contracts out of everybody, but definitely amongst the women, and should have been done a long time ago. We're going to start with you, Malique.
I might say I like the move. Should have been done a long time ago. I definitely think so. But I'm about to say with social media and the things that's going on and the nature of the WNBA is getting more popular now. It's being able to be streamed more, being broadcast more. It's still more. I might say it's definitely still more work to be done. But Nike showing that they appreciate A'ja Wilson, that they appreciate women's sports, women's basketball, definitely going to make other competitors, Adidas, Converse, other people, Under Armour, definitely tap in with their athletes and get the women going.
That's a great point for sure. And Puma already kind of doing that. I think they got Skylar, Diggins, and Smith, and all those, a couple of ladies over there as well. Wilson, your thoughts?
One, I feel like they still got her at a bargain. She has one of the most infectious personalities in the W, and then happens to be, rank where she is in terms of the type of player, the caliber player she is, right? $78 million for that. I feel like you got off a little easy. Also, you should have been done this. This should have been done coming up, maybe not $75 million coming out of South Carolina, but she hit the ground running in the W. Like this isn't something new. It's not like she went to a small school and it's like, oh, who's A'ja Wilson? Like, come on, man. This is ridiculous. Was this the 2nd gold medal for her? Also, just for your own pockets. Hey, man, some of the people y'all have the top of the Nike food chain, folks is aging out. You should have been on this, which I think I think that lent to some of the urgency. It felt like with this, you need people to step up in the spots. And some of those people aren't ready on the male side. But yeah, it's a bargain for sure. The number she's going to do now that Nike's made it official is going to be crazy. We haven't seen anything but her all over the Twitter since this happened today, and we got 3-4 months before season starts.
Hey man, I'm sure it's a section of people in society that feel like Caitlin Clark did this, but nonetheless, man, man, it should have been done a long time ago, man. She's one of the greatest players of all time, period, men and women. The run she went on this year, look, they fell short of the championship because they just ain't have enough as a team, and New York was loaded and on a mission from day one to avenge the loss from last year. But the run she went on, just seeing it up close and personal, the league better pray she don't get better. If she get better, it's going to be like it could be a run like what we saw from Dream those 2 years when he won back-to-back championships with the Rockets. Like it's just like, all right, she just gonna run she gonna run through every top big in the WNBA, and every team just gonna have to wait, till they get too old to deal with. You know what I mean? So we're gonna see how they revamp the roster and whatnot. But look, when you as a sponsor of whatever company, when you want to pay somebody to endorse your company, when you want to get behind somebody, when you want to sponsor them, this is the ideal type of person you want. Like Wilson said, the personality, the intelligence, the appeal, but most importantly, the results of what she does at the highest level. There's no question she's legit. Like you don't have to convince the people, hey, she can become that. She is that. It's just at this point how much she's going to continue to add to that. That's how it used to be when we were growing up. We knew Jordan, Barkley, Allen Iverson, various Grant Hill, even different shoes. Sean Kemp with Reebok, with a Shaq. Everybody that had signature shoes, Penny Hardaway, everybody that had signature shoes, they were legit. And that's what made it appeal. All right, you feel cool wearing their shoes because it represented them. Like it kind of represented like, your stuff, man. You got on Barkley's, dog. Yeah, MVP of the league. He nice. You see what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. Same thing for her. And I do remember a time, I know people try to act like things ain't exist past, I don't know, 2000 or something. 2020 or something like that. But when Cheryl Swoops was in the league with the WNBA, and she was one of their first signature athletes, her and Coop. I remember when we were kids, dudes was AAU, boys and girls, because they were young. Oh, no, middle school when they were going, the WNBA started, going into high school. High school, AAU, and all that camps and stuff, dudes were rocking their shoes, hooping. And other dudes like, where you get those from? I'm trying to get those. You know what I'm saying? It was being talked about like Jordans. Why? Because those ladies was killing the game. They could hoop. They was nice. They were official. So that's the same thing you seen with Asia. And you're going to see dudes rocking her shoes, hooping. And won't know, and it will be accepted. Won't be any clown or nothing. We will understand. Because she's tough. She's the best player in the game, period. She could retire today and she's first ballot. Hands down. So right now, it's just continuing to build, but this should have happened a long time ago, man. Because she been legit from honestly going all the way back to college. The way she elevated that, South Carolina got elevated with her and Dawn to what it is now because of her, on the back of her, and that's why she got a statue in front of that university. All right, we're gonna keep it moving. The NBA, the NBA has been tinkering with the All-Star game format since 2018, when the league has you the traditional East versus West game for a draft format with teams captained by the league's biggest stars. The first one, obviously, KD and LeBron captain in the draft format. They were the captains and they performed the draft. But it ran from 2018 to 23. But it looks like the NBA is done with that. This year, the NBA 24 All-Stars will be drafted into 3 teams by TNT's Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny Smith on February 6th, and will play a 14 tournament with the winner of the Rising Stars game filling out the bracket. Players on the winning team will receive $125,000. Quote, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Terrible, Durant told reporters Tuesday afternoon, with look of true scorn on his face. All-Star game formats changing. All the formats have been terrible, in my opinion. We should go back to East-West. Just play a game. I think we've been trying to bring that flair back somehow with the All-Star weekend, but I think we should just keep it traditional. We'll see how this one works. You never know. I might be wrong. I'm just another guy with another opinion. We'll see how it works. Take it or leave it. NBA All-Star game, new format. Do you agree with KD? Malique, I'm going to start with you.
Whatever's going to make the guys play defense. If it's instead of 24, if it's 3 teams, that means, you see what I'm saying? If it's 3 teams, that means everybody going to be hooping more minutes. So, I'm about to say. So, we're going to see. It's going to be more exciting, I'm about to say. Then everybody get a little piece of the pie where every team getting money. So, that's cool too. But if it's 4 teams, that means everybody get to see more than likely gets to see their favorite player actually play more minutes. So, that could bring more goods, more bads. But I think it's better Then the last 15 minutes they play to a set number, how it used to be, or how it was for the last few years. Yeah, I'm about to say, and the defense not coming back no time soon, like it was in the 2010s, 2000s, 90s, and stuff like that.
Wilson.
Hey, man, the first part of what he said is where I'm at with it, is why I think also I will second that with just some things don't need to change. Stop messing with stuff. Just tell them to show up and honor the people who help them be rich. Like, the fans show up to watch. Or just honor the game. Go out and hoop. That's all anybody's asking. Stop with all this tricky stuff. I don't need to do math to figure out teams. I'm old enough. I don't want to go revisit schoolyard days of who got picked when. I don't miss it. There's nothing in my heart that's like, oh, who's gonna get drafted first? I don't care. I just don't. Just go hoop or don't. Honestly, for how these dudes are, make it ones and put bread down. Because otherwise, y'all just won't do stuff. And at least I know then if you decline to play, at least you'll be shamed. And most of it is shame is the only thing that really messes with these dudes. Just shame, because anything else doesn't work. You try all normal measures, they don't work. Hey, y'all, it's the All-Star game. Can you please play? No. Hey, y'all, we're going to honor these legends today. Could you please play harder with them in attendance? No, I don't want to. I'm probably where KD is at with it. Like, just why? Just how about, get this, do USA versus World. Something that either East-West, USA versus World, just something that there's some stakes. Because, again, the only way these people feel anything these days is with shame. Put some real stakes to it.
One-on-one tournament? One-on-one tournament.
But then you have some people just not play. But,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm done with the gimmicks. Just show up and hoop, please.
Yeah, my thoughts on it is, well, I understand Kevin's frustration. It's a game. You don't have to tinker with everything. But what I would say to Kevin, y'all brought this on yourselves by not competing. The last few years, last year was very just unserious and disrespectful. I mean, Bird came in there and talked to y'all like, come on, man. Just play basketball how y'all know y'all should play. And it's like y'all came out there like on some FM stuff. So y'all forced the league hand. Y'all forced the league to have to, you know what? Fine. Y'all want to act like that? Cool. We got to tinker it because you can't afford to lose the game. It's too much money involved that weekend. It's just too much. It's too much involved, dog. It's bigger than just that game. You know what I'm saying? And the weekends are centered around that game. Yeah, you got the dunk contest, 3-point shoot contest, and all the rookie game and all that other stuff. Skill challenge and all that other stuff, but at the same time, it's centered around a game. And it's designed to promote the league. That's what they originally did it for. Get the best players on one court and then be, honestly, the biggest and best pickup game in the world. The problem is, y'all, it's one end of the floor that they just really I'm not playing on that end. So it makes it uncompetitive and it makes it boring and it's just too much. So y'all brought this on yourselves. There's no excuse to not compete and have fun and try to see who's the best. It used to be pride. Like, dudes used to, like, the best All-Star game of forever for me would be 2001 when down here in D.C. when, A.I. Marbury led that comeback. When the East was small and undermanned, they was just like, the West gonna kill y'all. They got all the bigs and all that, and they led them in the fourth quarter, came back and won that joint. AI got MVP. That's what we want to see, and it was pride. You could see when they won the game and stuff how they was celebrating. The West was blown. They was walking around like, how we losing these little motherfuckers? What the? And AI and them jumping around, Vince and all of them celebrating, talking trash to the West, and they was like, dog. And it was free. It was about pride. Y'all need to get back to that. That's what we want to see, man, because with the talent on the floor, if y'all just compete, we understand first couple quarters, man, y'all going to put on show. At least defense be in the way or something, waving at it. Don't just, all right, here you go. You know what I'm saying? Just do that, but then it gets serious. It's about pride. Like, bro, we ain't about to get cooked. Come on, man. Like, let's turn this up. And we miss that competitive nature. That's what's missing. So you can change the formats all you want. You can do international. You can do all that. I actually like the international format because I think they're gonna be trying to prove a point. Like, yeah, we are the best in the world, and that's gonna make the USA have to play. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be hard to do that because certain international players, let's say, you know, they not it's their pool. The pool of international players is not as deep as the American born players. That's what I'm saying. So certain guys might be injured and whatever, and that can put that would be a big blow for the international team where the you know, the American, the USA team, like, all right, we can just replace them with so. You see what I'm saying? So they kind of at a disadvantage. Everybody got to kind of be ready to go. But that's neither here nor there. I still like that format, but this format, we're gonna see how it goes. But it doesn't matter what type of format you put in; they're not going to compete. You know, it's going to be more of the same, just with a gimmick. All right. Now we're going to move to rapid fire for a couple questions. LeBron James returned from a 2-game absence for the Lakers on Sunday night, recording 18 points in 34 minutes as his team defeated Memphis 116-110. James was ruled out of the prior 2 contests with a foot injury, but looked perfectly healthy as he threw down a big dunk and had a patented chase down block. Afterwards, James made a surprising revelation. He's actually been battling that foot injury for years. Quote, "Nah, it's not behind me," James told Athletic Johan Bua. When asked if he recovered after some time off, "It's an everyday thing. It's been lingering for the last few years, but I was able to do a lot of great things to reassure not only that, but I got kneed in the quad in the Atlanta game at the end of regulation by Anthony Davis, and that's now back to 100%. Probably 3 days ago, it was still pretty sore, but I'm able to get that back to 100%. So that was great. So I was able to hit a lot of other elements as well. Thoughts on LeBron's lingering foot issues, Wilson?
Hey man, Father Time waits for no one. And it's when it hits, it hits. I know he's done a great job managing his body throughout this time, off the court, also on the court. The management that he's been able to do while playing, preserving energy and effort in different places to make sure he's able to continue to be out there. But yeah, I mean, it's just Father Time. There's a lot of miles on him for sure. So I mean, I get that, but also I keep coming back to this, like, but there's nothing you have to prove. You don't have to be here still. Like it's we don't have to be here right now. There's nothing to chase. You just don't. Like, again, it's been a great career, whatnot. But yeah, I get maybe just some rest. You know, people online with the jokes, like, you know, like I don't know, like when it was McCaffrey went to Germany, you know, go do what you got to do to try to get your stuff right, all that type of stuff, man. But just it's age, it's wear and tear. Like, it's going to happen. It's just natural progression of, you know, extremely high level athlete, whole lot of minutes. You know, part of the longevity thing that goes with it is minutes, a lot of minutes. You know, on the backside of that, it's going to catch up. So I'm happy. You know, it was good to see him back out there running around looking, you know, at like his current state of himself. So that's good for him and the Lakers.
Malique.
Father Time. I'm about to say this. It's really nothing else. But honestly, with the way other than the accolade aspect of, you know, load management, and now they said that if you don't play an X amount of games, you can't qualify for MVP awards or all team awards or anything like that. But that doesn't really affect him anymore. I'm about to say it's not another all league or all team or this, that, and the third that he can get other than the finals or like another MVP that concerns LeBron. But if it's just about I say being injured, he got load management. You know, he can take his days and things like that. That can put him in the league. Like you said, 3 more years, 4 more years. He don't got. It's nothing else to prove. So you know, he out there hooping. I'm about to say he want to be there. He could sit down if he wanted to.
Yeah, I guess we don't know if it's legit or not with his foot injury, man. But with him, the narratives over the years, it just falls on deaf ears. It's just I don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? It's just, though, you chose to set off for whatever reason. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? I feel like he put that out there, like and it's sad because it could be legit, but we don't know. But his track record of throwing stuff out there when things aren't going right it's just like I'm not falling for it no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not giving you the benefit of the doubt. It's like in the finals when, when they was playing the Warriors and they was getting smacked, he come out there with the cast all of a sudden. It's like, bro, you ain't had this cast the whole series now. Like he does it a lot, man, and everyone knows that. It just falls on deaf ears now. It's the last few years. So I guess you trying to add this to it. You about to turn 40 and all that, bro. To cover up that y'all not winning and not close to winning. You see what I'm saying? So no one was like, if you play double-digit years in the league, you're gonna have lingering issues. Well, matter of fact, you play double digits in any professional sports, especially more like a football, boxing, more contact. You're gonna have lingering issues that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I didn't play in the league and stuff from college, overseas, all that stuff. I have lingering issues in my body. So I have to stay in the gym and stuff, or it's going to be a lot of pain coming my way to keep my body in tight. So that's the price you pay for playing sports for a long time. You're going to get beat up. So you have to take care of your body. So I'm not trying to hear that, but, no, I mean, cool, but it's not moving nothing. For one, you're one of the greatest players ever. You're the franchise, literally. I'm pretty sure they're gonna give you every type of resource possible to make sure your body feel good. I mean, it's not like you out here playing a league and then you go home, you don't have any health insurance. You see what I'm saying? Like you just gotta ice everything and all that. Come on, man. Like there was no reason even to release that information. You see what I'm saying? Like what honestly, let's think about it. What was the point? Other than to build a narrative, which is what him and his camp is great they're doing. You see what I'm saying? So now that takes the talk away from JJ and the Lakers being up and down to, oh man, look what LeBron is doing on 1 foot. Oh my God, at 40, it's amazing. You know that's coming. So it's just stuff like that that's what turns a lot of people off. It's just like, homie, everybody banged up. It is what it is, man. Even rookies, they getting their first taste in the NBA and they're hurting right now because they look up and it's almost a whole college season in December ain't even over yet. And it's like you got 4 more months of this, buddy. So it is what it is, man. Move on to the last question of the night, rapid fire. Atlanta Falcons coach Raheem Morris was largely non-committal Tuesday when asked if Kirk Cousins will be the team's starting quarterback for Sunday's home game against the New York Giants. The Falcons beat the Las Vegas Raiders 15-9 on the road on Monday Night Football to stop a 4-game losing streak. But Cousins once again didn't look like himself. He was 11-17 for 112 yards with a touchdown and an interception. Cousins has 9 interceptions in the past 5 games with just a single touchdown during that stretch. Quote, "We just got back to Georgia," man, Morris said during a virtual news conference when asked if Cousins was starting against the Giants. We still got to go through all the process. We still got to go through all that process like we always do. Obviously, getting back early Tuesday morning, getting a big-time win, there's no secret. We didn't play well enough at the quarterback position. We got to find ways to play better. In previous weeks, Morris had confirmed that Cousins will be the team's starting quarterback moving forward. Not so Tuesday. The Falcons selected quarterback Michael Penix Jr. with the 8th pick in the NFL draft in April to be the team's quarterback of the future. If you guys are Raheem Morris, do you make that move and sit Cousins and put the young bull in? Malique, it's on you.
So I'm absolutely. I mean, so they paid Kirk Cousins. He's paid. You see what I'm saying? Michael Penix was drafted, so he's franchise, or he's supposed to be franchise. I didn't like the picking up a quarterback in the draft anyway, but they sitting at 7-7. I don't know this playoff situation over there of who got to win for them to get in or how they can get in, but I'm about to say somebody if they trying to win. I don't know what they're trying to win to accomplish other than getting into the playoffs, because like they're not a Super Bowl team. Like they're not a quarterback away from a Super Bowl, they're a little further than that. So I don't know what he's trying to prove right now or what he's trying to get done, because if you pay Kirk, you got to get him out of here one way or another. And he's not trade bait or, nothing like that. So you just got the guy you drafted on the bench and y'all losing games, it's getting to the mental space. If not the mental space, it's getting to what am I here for? How many years am I here till I play? So Michael Penix definitely needs to be playing. Yeah, I think it should have been a quarterback battle in camp. Definitely. I watched Michael Penix at Washington. Definitely a guy. So I definitely think he deserved a chance to spin it.
I guess for me, I think it's just par for the course. This is what they thought was going to happen eventually. Like, I didn't like it in the draft, as Malique mentioned, but I understood it. Most of Atlanta's, like, how their roster is currently constructed, most of the key folks, they're under contract, right? So if you, not that you want to eat the dead cap, but if you had to, you could afford to do this. So there was like a little bit of pre-planning in place before they did it. That said, didn't like it. I get it. We're here now. Didn't think it happened as quick. But the other thing is, if the Falcons, as far as the math goes, right? Follow-up tweet from Schefter. If the Falcons were to cut Kirk Cousins prior to the start of 25 league year, they would have $65 million in dead money. That's if they cut him. If they trade him this offseason, well, before the new year begins, the 27 and a half base salary would go over to the team that trades for him, and the Falcons would just be responsible for 37 and a half. So they kind of plan for this to work out either way. I think the whole time was just a matter of if Kirk bought out this year, you tell Penix, hey, rest, sit there. There's no reason to move him. That said, Penix is also an older rookie, which is why with that deal also, the other side of it, if Kirk doesn't look the same after the Achilles, hey, not so youngster, get in there. Like Malique said, it's time to let him spin it and you go forth with it. We've seen what guys with a strong arm can do in that system in different places. Obviously, it's a rookie, so we don't know exactly what to expect, but he has a cannon attached to his shoulder. Interested to see how it goes. You got some interesting weapons over there. We know what Kirk's done in this league for a long time, but I get it. You're 7-7. They're 7-7. I think the Bucks are 8-6. Tampa Bay owns the tiebreaker over the Bucks. So just from the sake of, being competitive all the way through, seeing it through being competitive, I get this. I'm fine with it. I'm anxious to see how it goes. Another thing, go ahead.
You said who owns the tiebreaker?
Atlanta actually owns the tiebreaker.
Okay.
Tampa Bay.
Oh yeah, so they got to figure out what they wanted. Okay.
So that's what makes that interesting. Is like you were alluding to earlier, like with the tiebreaker in place, it kind of even more sense to just go in there, let the kids see what happens. Some pressure under you find out about Penix pretty quickly. Penix was a dude for sure at Indiana before getting hurt. Go to Washington, bought out. We'll see what it looks like. I'm fine with it. It's just that's a lot of dead cap to eat, man. If you have to eat it, like that's 65 mil.
I'm with both of y'all, especially eating that 65 mil. Woo, that's homie. You're gonna have a lot of explaining to do to the owner. Like, what? Why am I paying this dude 60? Man, that's tough business. And you better, if you made the move, you better make the playoffs, bro. You better make the playoffs, or you might be gone. Right, like that's tough. That's tough, man. That's because that's tough, man. But Lord, the NFL, man, it drives you crazy, man, with some of the decision making, man. All right, man. He hasn't played well at this stage with this kid who hasn't really played at all, and you're knocking on the door of a playoff berth. Do you really want to make this substitution? Unless it's just unanimous, the players in the locker room, like, we need it, we see it at practice, he ready to go. All right, then I get it. You got the backing of a lot of people. Not that the coach needed, he makes the final call, but still. I just think that's just tough, man. That's tough because you really, in a sense, you risking throwing the season away. And if you do that, and this kid is not quite ready, people won't be second guessing every decision you make from now on, from what you draft to free agent acquisitions. If you trade, I don't know. This could be tricky, man. This is a very tricky decision, man. Look, Kirk hasn't played well in the last few weeks. I get that, but he's still a vet that's done a number of damage in this league, man. Unless Kirk is like, he's hurt, something's going on, maybe behind the scenes we don't know, or if he should. All right, let's say all things equal, he's just not playing well. Again, to throw this type of pressure on this kid, like, yo, we on the verge of getting in the playoffs. You got leaders there. With like how many games left? 3? 3 games left. Is it 3?
Yeah, I think
might
it's
be.
3.
I might say if they got a bye week, what is it, like 4 weeks left, 3 weeks left?
I'm talking about like games they playing.
Oh, the games they playing. Yeah, I think they got 3.
So 3 games left, and you haven't even really got a lot of experience, and everybody in playoff mode for the most part. Hey, go take us to the promised land. Now, if he does it, he's a legend. All right, we got our quarterback of the future. You know you got something. But if he doesn't, then what?
Okay, so they got the Giants at home, the Commanders in DC, and they got the Panthers at home.
Winnable. Okay.
So if he's decent, if he's okay,
winnable. Only the Commanders game gonna be tough. Yeah, they gonna be.
So do they not think Kirk Cousins can win the command? Like, how bad do they think Kirk Cousins is getting if he can't?
It clearly is bad. They made a move.
Yeah,
So.
I'm about to say for those 3 games.
But look, I'm just saying, like with him.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you.
I guess you got to see what you got with the kid, man. He made a decision. It is what it is. But if it don't work out, he gonna have a lot of explaining to do. It's gonna be it's gonna be a spotlight on him. Talking about the head coach.
Man, I got one better for you. All right. So the 2 cents I throw on this, whenever you did this, however the draft worked out, whenever this decision will be made, whenever it was that you made the decision, there's no going back. There's no put the kid out there going back to Kirk. Like, there's no going back right here. Like you guys said, there's no going back. So, again, I'm with you, Cardell. It would have been in their best interest to put off that decision for as long as possible. Mm-hmm. However, we're here now. It is what it is. A little bit more something to keep in mind and nobody's really paying attention to. Terry Fontenot is the general manager of the Falcons. You got a black head coach, black general manager. In terms of like what's weighing on this decision, right? Look, y'all, this is tough.
Like, what's the contract situation with both of them? See, that matters too.
This is year 1 for Raheem.
What about the GM?
I'm gonna double check with you on that. I got you. I'm gonna double check with you.
That'll tell a lot too. But normally, when it's like your first couple years, they're not as eager to get rid of you. But if it's at the end of your term, yeah.
So okay, 2021 for the GM, year 1 for the head coach.
A lot riding on this kid.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, we're not at practice. Maybe he been balling out. He just need a chance. And Cousins, dude, like me, I probably like, I'm gonna give you a quarter, Cousins. If I don't see nothing, I'm like, y'all saw it. I got you. He forced my hand.
If it's not 4 touchdowns, if it's not 4 touchdowns against the Giants, he got to come out. It's New York.
And then the last 2 cents on this, Cardell, you said this was the last question.
Yeah, this was the last one.
Okay, last 2 cents on this with the money again. If the Falcons release Kirk Cousins with the post June 1st designation, it's only 4. They get to split up They get to split up that $65 million. They could do $40 million in 2025, the rest in 2026.
Kirk Cousins got a great. He has a great
Hall of Fame agent. He been getting NBA money this entire time.
He get his money.
He's been stealing for years. How many Pro Bowls? Like how many? Like
he gets baseball money, man. You gotta respect his agent. Like they don't miss. Whatever he gets every penny. Because he got fully guaranteed on this deal coming off a torn Achilles, a ruptured Achilles, whatever.
I mean, if you coming out in the draft, you need age, you better holler at Kirk Cousins.
Whoever he with.
I'd be out the door if people had some sense. I wouldn't even talk to anybody else. You got him how much?
I'm with you, baby.
How many times? Yeah, whatever you say, I'm going to do it. Appreciate y'all for tuning in this week. We appreciate you guys so much.
Absolutely.
To thefocustv.com. Malique, happy to have you here.
Happy to be here.
For Cardell and myself, we will talk to y'all obviously this week with Wizards Outlook, and we'll be back as a group next week. Well, we'll be back as a group soon. Holidays and whatnot going on. We'll be back as a group soon. with the Focus TV. So as always, we appreciate you guys. We got a Roku television device. All you have to do is type in the Focus TV, double tap OK on the remote, and you added the channel.